There's always that one person in the office that no one really likes working with. They may be rude or impatient or just arrogant, but no matter the reason, no one wants to work with them or be around them for that matter. You don't want to be that person, and hopefully you aren't that person, because if you were, it would really be holding you back in your career. Hello friends, I'm AshleyStahl, a career coach, host of the U-Turn podcast, and best-selling author of the book, also named U-Turn. Get unstuck, discover your direction, design your dream career. In fact, you could be the most talented, educated, and driven person at your company, but in today's competitive workforce, it's simply not enough. If you have a reputation for being an awful person to work with, you're not going to progress in your career in the same way other people will. It's just as simple as that. Studies show that being seen as likable is the best way to get promoted or get a raise. So if you work full-time, most likely you spend more time with your coworkers than you do even with the closest people in your life. So the quality of your work relationships can mean the difference between an awful work experience and a fulfilling career. Some studies show that bosses who are well-liked drive better results. So not only does likability affect your own career, but also the health of the company that you're working for. So let's talk about how to be the person that everyone wants to work with. Number 1, take initiative. When you can, always lend a helping hand. Taking initiative might mean helping your coworker complete a task when they're running behind, or taking on that extra project. When time and energy permits, you always want to go above and beyond the call of duty. When you help others at work, you're strengthening relationships and showing leadership skills, 2 very important factors in likability. Not only that, but you're building a better work environment from which everyone will benefit. According to a recent Monster survey, employers chose teamwork and collaboration as the second most important skill a candidate should have. And besides, when you help others, people are more likely to help you in the future when you need it. When it comes down to it, there are more reasons to take initiative than not. One thing that's important to remember is always to make sure you stay on top of your own workload. Nothing kills the team spirit quite like people having to pick up your slack. Number 2, build rapport everywhere. Building rapport at work is critical for boosting your likability levels. When you find something you have in common with colleagues and you talk about topics that aren't related to work, you're doing big things to strengthen that relationship. Humans are naturally social creatures, and sometimes that means they want to talk about themselves. That's a good thing. We're here to connect. If we allow the people around us to do that, I can assure you, you'll be the person that they want to work with because they can have a real bond with you. After building consistent rapport, it'll be much easier and more comfortable to work closely with them in the future. And besides, we spend so much time at work. Why wouldn't we want work friends? Use your lunch hours, even if on Zoom, to build connections with people when you can, even beyond your own team. Number 3, never gossip or talk smack. It hurts when we hear someone's talking about us behind our backs, and in the workplace know that the person talking smack is always going to look worse than the person they're speaking about. I mean, we have to be around these people all the time, even if you know someone feels the same way about the person. It's always better not to say anything. Build people up, not down. Really make an effort with this one. Number 4, be reliable. We all drop the ball sometimes, but if we make it a habit, people won't trust us. And in the workplace, trust is everything. And there are many ways to build trust, but in short, it's about doing what you say you're going to do. Showing up on time, delivering deadlines on time, the basics. If you demonstrate any struggle with this, people will definitely not want to work with you. Do your job well and always follow through with what you say you're going to do. If you do this, you'll build long-term relationships where people see you as a person who follows through. Number 5, tell the truth. Speaking of trust, always tell the truth. It may sound easy, but what about when you forgot to work on something or you don't agree with something work-related someone says? In almost any situation at work, always choose honesty. It's a form of taking responsibility, and what's great about it is that when people see you owning the truth and taking responsibility for yourself, they feel like they can work with you and they can trust you. When you're dealing with someone who's not authentic, you have to navigate them so much to get to the heart of the matter. It can feel like a waste of time. Telling the truth is just another way of being efficient and building trust. Sometimes that may look like admitting you don't know something, but you'll look into it. It could look like saying you forgot to do something. It's just about being honest, fearlessly apologizing, and taking responsibility. And number 6, listen. In a world of distractions, being present with someone is a way of being loving. When it comes to work, we're all stressed, we're all busy. That's why it's so key to really focus on what others say around us. How often are you having a conversation with a coworker or supervisor and your head is somewhere else? It happens to the best of us. Instead, give others your undivided attention. Be present in every conversation. There's such a scarcity to thinking you need to be somewhere else, talking to someone else. Trust that you're supposed to be talking to the person in front of you. If you want to be the person everyone wants to work with, they'll want you to make them feel heard. People like that person. Number 7, be positive. We all know that colleague who always has something to complain about, and you definitely don't want to be that person. Everyone in your workplace has problems, and believe me when I tell you, no matter how receptive someone looks, not everyone wants to hear your problems. Complainers bring down everyone to their level of negativity, and no one wants to be around someone that makes them feel bad. So my advice, focus on the positives instead of the negatives at work. It's not about spreading toxic positivity where you're always smiling when things suck, but it's about leaning into positivity when you can and looking for the good in things. You'll find your mood lifting and that other people will like being around you even more. And I find that usually when you focus on the positive over the negative, good things happen. It's just the way of the world. Overall, striving to be the person everyone wants to work with isn't just good for you or others, but the health of the company and your own happiness. It feels good to be liked. It's not just about compromising who you are, it's about being authentic and connected to others. Work is one of the biggest parts of our lives, so might as well make it pleasant. So if you want to be likable, try out these 7 tips today.